Hey guys, my name is Jay and I'm one of the expert TOEFL teachers here at E2 Language. In the next videos that you see, I'm going to teach you all about TOEFL reading. I'm going to describe all of the different tasks to you. I'm going to teach you a method for how to solve them accurately and give you a chance to practice as well. This is the first lesson. Let's take a look at it. This is TOEFL reading skill number 1, summarize information, which, by the way, is quite different to all of the other tasks. The other tasks are pretty straightforward, multiple choice type questions. This one and number 10, table, are quite different and require you to understand it thoroughly. Let's get started. So, the objective of this lesson is for you to understand this question type. I also want you to learn how to answer it accurately, of course, because that's what it's all about. What we're going to do in this lesson is I'm going to describe the task to you. I'm going to teach you a method and we'll go through a question like some guided practice. Then number 3, I'm going to give you the opportunity to practice for yourself. So let's start with the task description. Let me describe this task to you. Whoa, this is something that you might see on test day. This is the passage of text that precedes, that comes before you see the question. It's quite significant. What you'll need to do on test day is take notes. You'll need to read this quite carefully and take notes. Obviously, you can't just recreate this. You're just going to take notes on the main ideas. Then you're going to see a question that looks something like this. You'll see a sentence up here, obviously related to that passage of text. You'll see a box with 3 I don't know what you call these, 3 dots, and down here you're going to see 6 sentences. The idea is that you drag these sentences, the ones that are mentioned in the passage of text, and you drag them into this box here. And some of them you will leave behind, for example. Okay? Let me go through the method with you and show you this in more detail. So, step 1, you read the passage and take notes. So, you need to look at this and you need to take notes. Obviously not all the details, just the main ideas. My notes look like this. You'll have a significant amount of time to do this, so don't worry too much about it. My notes say, meteorite impacts hazard to Earth. Impacts can disturb environment. 65 million years ago, mass extinction. Cretaceous period, dinosaurs disappeared. Impact caused dust clouds to envelop the Earth. Major impact site at Yucatan, 200 kilometers in diameter, etc., etc. And you go down. These are not full sentences. These are notes of the main ideas of that passage. So you have to take notes. It's imperative. It's impossible to do it otherwise. Fine. Step 2, read the first sentence of that summary. Okay, fine. Let's read it carefully. It says, scientists have linked the mass extinction of the end of the Cretaceous period with a meteorite impact on Earth. Let's read it again. Scientists have linked the mass extinction of the end of the Cretaceous period with a meteorite impact on Earth. What does that really mean? What's the main idea of this sentence? What's the main idea? Well, we can kind of simplify this. A meteorite caused a mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous period. Okay, so now we know what this text is going to be about. Step 3, we compare our notes to the answer options. We compare our notes to the answer options. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look. So let's read the answer options. Scientists had believed for centuries that meteorite activity influenced evolution on Earth. The site of the large meteorite impact at the end of the Cretaceous period was identified in 1990. There have also been large meteorite impacts on the surface of the moon, leaving craters like Tycho. An iridium-enriched sediment layer and a large impact crater in the Yucatan provide evidence that a large meteorite struck Earth about 65 million years ago. Large meteorite impacts such as the one at the end of the Cretaceous period can seriously affect climate, ecological niches, plants and animals. Meteorite impacts can be advantageous for some species which thrive and disastrous for other species which become extinct. Fine. So, having read the passage and having taken notes, you should now be able to go, okay, yes, this one, and this one, and not this one, and not this one, and not this one, for example. It's a combination of both your notes and your memory that will allow you to say, yes, that was mentioned because of, this note here, for example. Okay? That will lead us to step 4, where we just did. We eliminated the incorrect answer options, which in fact are 1, 2, and 3. And then step 5, we drag the correct answer options into the box. So we drag these 3 into the box. We leave these 3 behind. Let's just read this to make sure it makes sense. It says, scientists have linked the mass extinction of the end of the Cretaceous period with a meteorite impact on Earth, an iridium-enriched sediment layer, and a large impact crater in the Yucatan province. Evidence that a large meteorite struck Earth about 65 million years ago. Obviously, your notes are not going to be that detailed, but you should have taken a note about the Yucatan being struck 65 million years ago, for example. That would have been a critical note. So it's not going to be exactly the same when you match your notes to the answer options, but your note should give you enough information along with your memory to say, okay, yes, these 2 match. Or there might be one you don't have any notes for, and you think, okay, well, I'm going to leave that one, okay? Cool. Right, let's practice this because this is a tricky one, and I apologize that this is the first task, and it's probably one of the hardest ones, I think. So let's practice it. Here we go. This one, I'll give you a shorter passage of text. Please take notes on this. Pause the video. Give yourself a minute and a half to read through this. Take notes. You need to understand what this is saying. You're not just taking notes and copying words down. You need to read it. You need to understand it, and then take notes. You need to understand it because your notes are only half of it. Your memory will be the other half when you're selecting those sentences, okay? So read this carefully, understand it, and take notes to help your understanding of it. All right, have you taken notes? Let's now look at the question, and you're going to match your notes to those answer options. Here we go. So here's the question here. Pause the video, decide which of these answer options were actually mentioned in the passage. 3 of them will not have been mentioned, so we can eliminate those. Pause the video, give yourself a minute to try to find the right answers. We'll look at them in a second. All right, let's have a look at those answers. If you haven't done this yet, please go back and do it. Let's see. So the answers are these. So, okay, let's read it from the top. A recent study shows how smartphones can be used to make movies of living cells without the need for expensive equipment. Live imaging, this is this note here, this sentence rather, live imaging is a very important and expensive undertaking used to research how different medicine affects living cells. During the study, traditional microscopes used for this research were replaced with some everyday electronics and smartphones, resulting in quality cell culture conditions and top quality imaging. Cool, so that one's there, fine, we dragged that one. We dragged that one here, which leaves this one. The study makes it possible for laboratories around the world to do the same thing. Cool, so we got those 3, and if you understood that passage properly, you would have been able to do it. Let's look at the ones we eliminated. To achieve high-resolution videos of cell life, the current microscopes are no longer sustainable. Well, it just didn't say that. What about this one? Microscopes used in current hospitals and universities are not as efficient. Well, it just didn't say that either. Researchers with minimal funding will be able to replace their current equipment with smartphones. Well, it didn't say that either. It said that it can be augmented or combined with other equipment. Cool. All right, for TOEFL success, go to e2language.com. Check it out. Go and sign up for a free account. You'll get some practice material. If you need extra help, if you feel like you need some support, upgrade your package for tutorials, live group classes, unlock the entire course to get full access to the practice materials, and you should be good to go on test day. Thanks for watching. Remember to watch video 2, 3, and the rest of them. I'll see you soon.